You refuse to write what? Okay, so let's start. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما تعلمنا وربنا زدنا علما يا رب العالمين. So I apologize first of all today, number one, for being late. We're setting up late. I came a little later than usual. I've been actually sick for the last 2 or 3 days, so I've not, and that's also why I didn't upload the slides today. But I did get it done, so we will do it, inshallah. So I was hoping. Assalamu alaikum. All right, Brother Hakeem, I got you covered. There you go. Soaking up my. Yeah, there you go. That's because you don't see my hair. Okay, so yeah, I was hoping that you would do that drill, but I didn't hear much going on, so maybe we'll do it together. All right, so let's see what we got. This worked good. All right. You're recording. Good, good. All right, reviewing the 10 forms. So like I said, we're going to do this every day or every time. Okay. All right, so let's go through this quickly together, right? Form 1 through 10, past tense, okay? So let me hear it all together. Bismillah. Fa'ala. Fa'ala, okay?
If'ala.
Not if. Af'ala. Af, yeah. Tafa'ala, 6. Tafa'ala, 7.
Infa'ala.
8.
Ifta'ala.
9.
If'ala.
If Allah, right? 10? Very good. Okay. Let's do present tense.
Yaf'alu.
Yaf'alu, okay.
Yufa'ilu.
Yufa'ilu, right?
Yufa'ilu.
Yufa'ilu, right?
Yuf'ilu.
Yuf'ilu, very good.
Yatafa'ilu.
Yatafa'alu, right? Okay, next. 6.
Yatafa'alu.
Yatafa'alu, right? Yanfa'ilu, right? Yafta'ilu. Yaf'ilu, okay. Yaf'alu, sorry. Yastaf'ilu. Okay. Has anybody read recently Quran, and no judgment if you haven't, but has anybody read recently Quran and start to notice these patterns now? Right? Okay, let's do command tense.
Okay. Af'ala.
Af, so form 1, you can never start with fatih, right? If'al, right? If, or it could be something, sometimes starting with dhamma, like uktub, could be, right? Okay. Yufa'ilu. Fa'il, right? Good. Fa'il, okay. Af'il, good.
Taf'il. Tafa'il.
Tafa'al, right? Tafa'al, okay. Tafa'al, okay. Infa'il, right? Ifta'il, good. If'alil, yeah, don't worry. Okay. Istaf'il, okay, good. Okay, prohibition.
La taf'il. La taf'al.
La taf'al, right?
La tuf'il.
So I would, again, when we do the prohibition, just look at the present tense. That helps you. It'll take the same pattern. La tufa'il, right? Right. Right. Okay. La tatafa. Right, very good. Okay. Okay.
Tanfa'il.
Right.
La taf'il.
Right.
La taf'alil.
Don't worry. Don't worry. La Okay, very good. Okay, so ARB verbs. Why is this here? We're not doing ARB verbs. This is the wrong slide. Is it 4? This is not what it is. Interesting. I guess I'll fix it. I'm supposed to remove all those. So I took from 3 and then I saved it as 4, and then I was supposed to remove the stuff from 3. Yeah, I mean not combine. I didn't mean to, but I was gonna. It's easier to copy and paste that way. But anyway, I'll fix it before I upload it. Okay, so what are we working on now? We did past tense. We did present tense. We did command tense. We did prohibition. We did passive past tense. So that's how many things have we done? 5?
But he did the land not.
Prohibition, right? Oh, yeah. But I'm talking. Yes, that's correct. So we worked on some particles, right? The particles of nasab for verbs, the particles of jazm for verbs. Who can give me an example of a particle of nasab for verbs? None. Very good. What about for jazm? We just went over it in the 10-4. La in the sense of forbidding. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it can be many different. What's that?
We did 4.
So we did past tense, present tense, command, prohibition, passive. Passive. 2 weeks ago we did passive. Yes, past tense. Yeah. Majhul means passive. Yeah. So we did madi majhul. That's passive past tense. Now we're going to do mudari majhul. Right? Okay. So all right, let's get started on this. Okay, so we say last week or 2 weeks ago we said the door was open. We said what? Futih al-bab, right? So how do you say the door will be opened? Anybody want to guess? Remember, so is future the same as past tense? Huh? Yufu'ilu. Okay, but so how would it be with futiha? So this is form 1, it's not form 2. You guys are trying to do by form 2. So that's close. She's got the closest. Yuftihu. That's close.
Yuftihu.
That's what she said. That's close. It's not correct. No.
The Dhamma has come before, no?
That's correct, definitely. So it definitely starts with you. Yuftahu. There you go. Yuftahu al-babu or sayuftahu al-babu. Right? Both are correct. As we went over in 101, you can do future. It can be.
Sofa also you
can do sofa as well. Yeah, you could.
But it's near or far future.
This is what I said earlier. You have to add seen.
You don't have to. It's one way to be clear about it, but you don't have to. This as well could be Yuftahu al-babu could also be the door will be opened.
Well, one of them is far future and one of them is near future.
No, you're confusing sa and sofa. Okay. Yeah, so sofa. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this will be valid for both past and present tense too. I don't know. It's an awkward sentence to say the door is being opened. It's kind of, you wouldn't really say it like that.
The translation for second one is going to be Sayyuftahul Bab, going to be the door is likely to be open.
No, the door will be open.
The door likely when you add seen.
No, likely you have to add a new word, right? Then you're going to say ghaliba'an. You're going to have to put another.
Ghaliba is something different.
No. Well, ghaliba means it's more likely that. Okay. So ghalib can be many things.
Okay.
You're thinking of victory, right? Mm-hmm. But it can be many things. Okay. The door will be opened. Okay. So, yuf'alu is this blurry, by the way?
Yeah.
Good enough, right? Okay, yufalu, right, is the present / future passive of fa'ala, right? So how would you say the book will be written?
Yuktabu.
Yuktabul.
Al-kitabu.
Yeah, is it kitabu or
Written
kitaba?
in the maktub, no? Written in the maktub. No, maktub.
Yeah, kataba. How do you say that in passive present tense? Yuktabul kitabu. Who thinks that's right? Who thinks it's something else? So that's right. That's correct. Yuktabul kitabu. Remember, as we went last week, even though you may think that the noun is a direct object, actually, when you use a passive, it's the kind of like the subject. It's called the deputy doer. So it's going to be rafa, right? So in this case, we go back here. Bab is rafa. It's not nasab. Even if you say Yaftahu Yusuf al-baba, that's what you would say. If you put me as a subject, then it's not a passive verb, it's an active verb with a direct object. But when you just say it as a passive, futi al-bab, then it becomes rafa, not nasab, because it's the deputy doer. Right?
In English also it happens same, right?
Yeah, you could say like that. The door was open, the door is opened.
The man opened the door and the door was opened
Two
by the
different-
man.
yeah.
So the object becomes the subject in English
Yeah,
also.
yeah, you could say that's right. Okay, so let's do some Form 1 examples.
The other one you mentioned was what was the word?
Yuktabu.
Puti?
Yuktabu.
Yukta.
Yuktabu, right? Yeah. Kataba. Yuktabu. Yuf'alu, right?
Yukta.
Right, so how would you say how would you say it was the book was lifted? If it's rafa'a, right? How would you say it's lifted? The book is lifted. Yurfa'ul kitab, right?
Kitabu.
Yeah. Kitabu. Okay. Form 1 examples. Okay, so let's do
Yursalu alaykuma shiwazim min narin wa nuhasin falatan tasiran.
okay. Well, I put back the translation. It's just out, but yeah. Just a minute. There will be sent. Right? It will be sent. He's not mentioning the sender. It's just saying will be sent. Right? Yursalu alaykuma shiwadun. So who's the deputy doer? Shiwadun. There's also another one.
Upon you know, Kuma.
I'm asking for the deputy doer. Where's the doer in this sentence? So this is right. Shiwadun. What else?
Nuhasun.
Yes. Wa nuhasun. Right? So shuwadun min narin is one deputy doer. And wa nuhasun. So when we get, again, it's not, we're going to get to the connecting particles. But connecting particles, the same ARB will apply. Right? Same case. Right? So there's two deputy doers, right?
So what's upon you?
Upon you is just qualifying. It's like an adverb of yursalu.
So it's not like a pronoun.
Subject.
It is a pronoun. But see, the problem is it's always difficult for pronouns to talk about ARB because pronouns are mabni. So no matter what case it is, it's always going to look this. Mabni means inflexible. Remember non-inflexible? Sorry. Mabni, that's what it means. Inflexible.
But this one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is muntasir, no? He's hidden.
He is?
He's hidden. It's not mentioned. Because
Yeah,
Yursalu
because it
alaykuma
could be
means
said, it could be said,
in- in-
Yarasallallahu alaykum ashwadan min narin wa nuhasan. That would be the,
Alaykuma means din and ins.
it's just you're describing the verb. Yursalu alaykuma.
Alaykuma means for men and for the jinn.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alaykuma is a doom.
Yes. Because Surah Rahman is all talking about men. It is. Kuma is dual. Who's he talking about? Insan? Ins was jinn.
Yes.
So that's dual.
This is one thing, ins and jinn.
Yeah, ins and jinn. So it's dual. Because when he's talking about the entire group, he's treating it as singular. All of human, one. All of jinn, another. So it's dual. Right? يرسل عليكما شواظ من نار ونحاس فلا تنتصران. Right? Okay, anyway, next one.
أَيَحْسَبُ الْإِنسَانُ أَنْ يُتْرَكَ سُدًى.
أن يترك سدى. Alright? Taraka means what? To leave something alone. Right? Like, taraka. Taraka means leave it. Say tarka al-adab means you're no adab, right? Basically, you've left it. Now it's saying here, أَيَحْسَبُ الْإِنسَانُ, does man think that he will be left, neglected? Yutraka. Right? Okay, why is it, why do you have a fatha here?
It's a pronoun.
Because of
Yes. An. Right? It's a harf of nasab on the verb, right? But it's still a passive. It's still an example of what we want to go over. Right? Okay. تظن أن يفعل بها فاقرة. Why is it again? Why is it fatha here?
Again, un.
Because of an. Right?
Will be done.
So how would you say if you have the verb sharaba? Shariba is to drink something. Right? Not shuriba. Shuriba is passive. Shariba is to drink something, right? So how would you say I want to drink?
Yushraba.
Why is everyone starting with ooh? This is not a passive sentence. I want to drink. Uridu, you say uridu is to I want. Uridu an ashrub ashruba. Right? Because they have the an. I'm just going over the. Remember, so. Assalamu alaikum. Wait, now we can correct me if I make mistakes. By the way, when we teach the 200 level classes, Abdul Rashid is going to teach the first one for us. And I'll be his student because I've never had someone teach me Ajrumiya, the whole text, matan. So inshallah he's going to do it.
So the un will take the meaning of
We're doing Mudari Majhul. 10 form. No!
I went to the other class.
No, it's not Akida.
Okay, sorry.
It's but we're doing Belief 101 at
What time is it?
11:35.
Oh,
Yeah, Belief 101. Go ahead. Sorry. تظن أن يفعل بها فاقرة. Right?
So un will be will, right?
Un means that or in order to, so as to. تظن, right? They think that so what will be done to them, right? يفعل بها. تظن. أين يفعل, right? So un is like that.
what would be done to them?
Yeah. See here, expecting that. So when we did the drink, uridu an ashruba, that's, I want that I drink water. Okay, so let's go over the 10 forms of passive present. Okay, so fa'ala, what did we say it was? Yuf'alu. Right? Yuf'alu, right? Okay. Okay, fa'ala. So what is it in the active tense? Yufa'ilu. So what do you think it is in the passive tense? Right. Yufa'alu. Right? Okay. Now fa'ala. Yufa'alu. Right? Okay. Af'ala. Yuf'alu. This one's tricky because look at it now. There's no way to tell between 1 and 4.
Yeah.
Right. So if you see that, you can't necessarily know right away if it's 1 or 4. Okay. All right. 5. Yutafa'alu. Right. Okay. So a quick pointer. When you hear passive tense, almost always, maybe Abdul Rashid can correct me, the second to last vowel will be a fatha, right? Okay. So don't go for kasra. I don't think there's any case. I think it's always going to be a, I don't know about past tense. Yeah? Generally, that when the words very similar to distinguishing active and passive, when we'll get to that, when we get to the nouns, kasra is active, fatha is it's being done to, right? You're passive, right? Like so, I'll give you an
Say that
example.
again. I'm sorry. Say that sentence again.
So let me give you an example. This is a little bit foreshadowing. So you have a teacher, muallimun, muallimun. The one who is taught is muallamun, right? So when you're in passive, but default to a fatha for the second last vowel. I'd have to go through everything to make sure that's 100% right. Okay, tafa'ala, yutafa'alu. Right? Okay, infa'ala, yunfa'alu. Right? Ifta'ala, yufta'alu. Right? If'alla, yuf'allu. Istaf'ala, yustaf'alu. Right? So in the present tense, present passive, what you always see is the first letter starts with a dhamma. Right? So part of the ease of memorizing this is just look for patterns. Right? So one of the patterns everyone will see is that you're going to start with the dhamma on the first letter. And the second to last vowel would be fatha. Right?
It's easier than active form. Less variations.
Right?
Yeah. It's just easy.
What's that?
The easiest one.
Generally, forms 2 through 10 are actually easier than form 1, if you think about it. Because they seem to all kind of follow.
But even this one's all the same.
Okay, yeah.
In active, we were having 1, 5, 6, 9 as fatha. And rest of them were kasra.
For which one?
For the second,
The active?
for the active, yeah.
Fu'ila. Yeah, fu'ila.
It's
Fu'ila. Yeah, I think you're right.
yeah,
Fu'ila. Yeah, you're right.
6 and 9 all are. So the rest of these are E.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a passive, no?
Okay, so form 2 through 10 examples. Quran. Okay. Brother Zayed Bhai.
يود أحدهم لو يعمر ألف سنة. أحدهم.
Right.
يود أحدهم لو يعمر ألف سنة.
Yu'ammaru.
أمر.
So what form is this?
5? No. Third. Second.
Second? Is that your seventh or is that your second? Second, right? Yeah. Yu'ammaru, right? So what's the root? Amara, right? That is, in this case, one of them which should be granted life 1,000 years. Granted life, in Arabic, it's just one word, right? To have life, amara, right? Okay.
أولئك لم يكونوا موجودين في الأرض وما كان لهم من دون الله من أولياء يضاعف لهم العذاب.
Yuda'afu.
لهم العذاب.
Yeah. Yuda'afu, what is that?
Third.
Double.
Yeah. What's the form? Third, right? Who agrees? Who doesn't agree? Everybody agrees, okay. So what is the root? Za'afa, right? That is to be multiplied. Will be multiplied, right? Yuza'af. Right? So the way I looked it up, when I was trying to look up in the English translation, is look for the word be. When I look for the word be, that's almost always where I find the passive. It doesn't occur all that often in the Quran, actually. Form 1 and 2, yeah, definitely. When you get to other families, it's not very often. Okay, anyway.
أذن للذين يقاتلون بأنهم ظلموا وإن الله على نصرهم لقدير.
Okay, so what's this?
Third again.
Right? Yuqataluna. So what's una?
Plural.
Yeah, it's just the plural ending, right? Yuqataluna. So in this sentence, actually, there is 4. Wait. I see 3, not 4. I see 3 passive verbs. Who can find it?
Apart from
Zulimu is also
Udina.
passive word.
Right, it's passive.
Okay, so one was
Udina.
udina. Who says udina?
Udin also is a passive word.
Yeah, udina, right? That is. So it's a past or present tense?
This is past.
Past tense, right? Yeah. Fu'ila,
First,
udina, right?
first, form.
Yeah, first form. That's right. Permission has been given. So right, look how Arabic is so compact. Udina, and you gotta translate it so long. Udina is adana is to give permission. Right? Udina. Udina lilladhina yuqataluna, to those who are being fought. If you say yuqatiluna, that's those who are fighting.
Okay.
See, so it's simple. See the simple. If you put a kasra here, that is the ones who are fighting other people, right, or with other people. But if you put a fatha, it means they are being fought. Yuqataluna. Okay, so when you're memorizing this table, make sure you just compare and contrast always the passive and the active, and you'll see what the variation is. Right?
See, in order not to create a doubt, it says بِأَنَّهُمْ ظُلِمُوا. So it means
Yeah.
they are being tortured. They are being
بِأَنَّهُمْ ظُلِمُوا, right? Yeah, because they were wronged.
Yeah.
Were wronged, right? ظُلِمُوا. Okay. If you say ظَلِمُوا, then they're wronging the other. Right? So. Okay. Next.
إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ وَمَن يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدِ افْتَرَىٰ إِثْمًا عَظِيمًا.
Okay, so actually I could have highlighted this too.
So it's either first or fourth.
What's that?
First or fourth.
Very good. It's actually 4 in this case, but very good.
Form?
This is form 4. So form 4 and form 1 are identical with respect to the passive present tense.
Just by context.
Good question. I actually don't know the answer to that question.
What's the difference? What's the difference between 1 and 4?
One is like so 1 is a default. You do any action. 4 usually means you're causing it to be done. So like arsala is to send down, right? Anzala is to send down. Nazala is to descend by yourself.
Then un doesn't.
Usually.
Un doesn't do that.
No, un doesn't do that. Okay, just an Akida point. Also, not that this is an Akida class, but what is the only sin which is considered unforgivable? Yushrik. Now, many of the Mufassirun have said that this also refers to disbelief in general, right? So even that would come under the category of rejecting the Prophet ﷺ. So any other sin, no matter how bad it is, from an Aqidah point of view, we believe that nobody will stay in hellfire eternally. That they can, Muslims, right? They can be taken out, right? But not yushrik, not shirk. Because it's right here. This is. Remember what we talked about? Who was in the 103 class? We're talking about muhkam, right? This is clear. Indeed, it's like a emphatic, right? Inna Allaha. Okay.
But you see, how is it sorry to interrupt? If
Sorry?
you start, concentrating on ayat, even in Surah Baqarah, you say, Inna Allahi kafaru, bi ayatillahi lahum azabun alim.
Yeah. Kafaru is the same. Kafaru comes under this.
Kafaru would be if you negate.
Yeah.
If the order we don't obey.
No. That's not. No.
It's different. Because shirk, you
That's not the
make
same
another
thing.
person with Allah.
No.
Kafara
No, I
is
understand. This is different.
Kafara is not to. If Allah says that, I'm going to spend exactly 60 seconds on this, but if He says that you have to pray and you don't pray, that's not kufr, right?
It is not kufr.
Yeah.
Kafaru bi ayatil means you negate.
Yeah, you say I don't have to pray. That's true.
No,
That's true. That would come on here.
I'm not translating it to kufr.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that if you concentrate, you will find out that you really shake inside. That
Yeah.
you are not obeying Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala's instructions.
Right. Okay. So
وَقَالُوا إِنَّ نَتَّبِعُ الْهُدَى مَا نُتَخَطَّفْ مِنْ أَرْضِنَا.
نتخطف. Who wants to take a guess at that?
That's
نتخطف
So first of all, let's deal with the first letter first.
Yeah.
The noon, right? So that's just for the so you could, let's say if it was yutta khattaf. What does that sound like? Yutta? What form did we go over that sound like that?
Oh, command.
Which one does it look like? Yeah, fifth one. Fifth. Yutta fa'al. Yutta khattaf.
So what's being doubled? Okay, so what's being doubled on that one? Oh, okay.
Yutta khattaf.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Jazm.
Yeah, it's jazm. Why it's jazm is beyond the scope of this class. I think it's because it's a hypothetical. We would. Okay.
أولم يروا أنا جعلنا حرما آمنا ويتخطف الناس من حوله.
Okay. Same verb, right? Okay, so what then is what's the root? The root. Khatafa, right? Everybody see that? Khatafa means it's form 5, right? And yutakhatafu means it's form 5, present passive. Right? Who's finding this getting their root out difficult? Should we spend one entire class just doing drills on getting the root out, or is it kind of intuitive enough? Intuitive, right? If you memorize the table, it should be intuitive.
This is just so I can put it in my mind.
Yeah.
This is people. This is present.
Yeah, it's present, future. Yeah.
Present future.
Yeah.
Present means it's being done this event.
Yeah. So look at the translation. While people are being taken away.
Ours. Oh, present.
Are being. Yeah.
Where's that? There was one on a page above that was will be. On this the previous slide, someplace.
Will be multiplied. Yeah.
How do you say will multiply? Not passive, active. I just want to see the difference.
Oh.
Will multiply.
So you just take this and put it as a kasra. Yuda'ifu.
Okay. So that's will multiply. That's
The
not
will
passive.
multiply. That'll be the active.
That's the sentence.
So right. So so this is a good excellent example. Between the active and the passive, many times it's a matter of going from fatha to kasra.
On the second letter.
On the second to last letter. Yeah.
Well, 3 letters, right? So the second of the root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Will multiply. So the difference is I'm saying R or it.
Yeah. Although
Oh no, more expensive.
it's definitely in this case. It's definitely in this case.
Okay.
Again, I can't. I don't have the entire. I know it. I'd have to go through the whole thing.
We did future, right? We did do future.
Yeah, we did future in 101. Future and present are the same.
Oh, right. In future, it can be R or A.
R-A.
It could be fatha or kasra.
And now for the forms too, remember if it's very specific, like a form 2, it's going to either it, like the customer
In
for
present,
the
we have-
forms 2, 3, and 4.
And active, we have kasra and fatha.
Well, we should have all of them.
Future active.
Why
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
we have all of them?
It's an it. We look at your forms.
Where is it? Did we do it? Future? Yeah, we did
No,
future.
it's present. Present. Present is the future. Present and future are the same. They're the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Present and future are the same.
Right. So it can go up or down,
But it's always,
depending on which verb form it is.
there's always it's always going, always a customer for 2, 3, and let's see, 2, 3, 5. Besides 5 and 6. It's a 2, 3, and then 4.
What are we saying? What are we saying?
Kasra is on the second vowel, the present.
So she mean to say if it is kasra, it is in passive active form. If it is fatha, it is a passive form. She mean to say.
Yeah, but again, I don't want to say that's across the entire. I'm not saying necessarily. I have to double check that.
Yes.
For this,
So now-
for
For
passive,
this form, it is.
for present tense, passive versus active, it's the case. Basically, everyone has to look at the table and get the pattern in their head.
For 5 and 6, we'll have
If I did
Yatakabbaru, yutakabbaru. Yeah,
In
so
the
it's the
starting,
only
we need to
the.
see the starting for the 5 and 6.
Yeah,
For
that's
the
right.
rest, we can see the second one.
It makes a difference. And some already have
Yeah,
it,
you're right. You're
but
right.
they have it custom.
Yeah, so she's right. She raises a good point. It's not forms 5 and 6 is not going to be a kasra, even as the active.
No, I know it
so,
never is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So again, so it's hard to come up directly with pattern. What I'm saying as a generalization.
No,
No, it is.
no,
you
it
don't-
does.
you have a
It
pattern.
works. It's a pattern. If in the present form it's ya and it's like it's fata, right? It's fata and fata. You have to make that oo, and it'll say One vowel is gonna change. So to
Okay.
make it passive, you have to make it you, not ya, right?
Use always a passive.
Use passive.
No.
Then you go to form-
Yu'allimu is active.
Right. So then you go to form 2,
Yeah.
3,
So
and
let's-
4.
I think the lesson is, so I'm not going to comment any further on this. Don't generalize across the whole table. You got to learn the patterns yourself, right?
Separately for the
Yeah.
each.
Yeah, separately for each family. And so I'm not going to say yes or no because there are exceptions. But for form 3, when you have this, then the active this is yuda'ifu. That's the active, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now next ayah, brother Zaid. Zaid, bye.
وأورثنا القوم الذين كانوا يستضعفون مشارق الأرض ومغارب التي باركنا فيها.
Okay. What does this look like? This should be easy.
10.
Form 10, right? Yustad'afuna. Okay, so what's the okay, what's this? Plural, very good. So yustad'afu. So what is the root? Da'afa, right? Right? And we cause the people who have been oppressed to inherit the eastern regions of the land and the western ones which we have blessed, who had been oppressed. Okay, da'if, right, means to be weak, right? Yeah, so yustad'afuna, right? This is actually very similar, and it might even be the same root as the other. It is. Yeah. So a single root can have multiple meanings. Right?
Which form is this?
10.
This is form 10, right? Always when you have the S and the sin and the ta. Sin and ta. Yeah, if you have a sin in the front and a ta, it's a good indicator.
Yes, the E4 will be the active, right?
Active.
Yes.
Yastad'ifuna. Yeah, so two letters change. This is a fatha, and this is a kasra.
Dafu. The word root word is daf. Dafa.
Zafa.
God and faith.
Yeah, root word is da'afa. Right? Da'afa. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Da'afa. They say dad is the hardest line. You have to put your tongue up on your teeth. Da'afa.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
يوما نبعث من كل أمة شهيدا ثم لا يوزن الذين كفروا ولا هم يستعتبون.
Ah, there's actually another example here. Yu'adhanu, right?
Right? In form 10.
Yusta'tabuna, right?
They will not be pardoned.
Okay, so now this is a tricky one. What is the root? Ataba, right, very good. So in certain cases, the ta can be part of the root. Usually it's added on, but sometimes it can be. Right? Ataba. Will be asked to appease Allah. Right? Like to make amends or something like that. Okay. Good. What time is it? What's the time? 10:58? Alright. We'll be able to complete. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a new subject. We're going from sarf again back to nahu, back to grammar. Particles of nasab on nouns. So we did particles of nasab on what do you call it? Verbs, right? And who remembers from 101 when would a noun be a nasab? From 101.
Direct object?
Direct object, right? Direct object. But now we're adding a new wrinkle. Okay.
Brother, one doubt. We need to by heart the particles of nasab for the verb also, for the jazm and for the.
Yes. it will be a requirement. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put together a table that will. So there's two things you have to memorize for the final exam. One is how to conjugate all these verbs and the 10 forms table. That's stuff morphology. How you take a root out. What would be the form 7 passive of this? The other would be the list of all the particles that we're going over. What is the effect on the? Is it an effect on a noun? Is it an effect on a verb? Is there no effect? Right. Okay, so if we say the man is old, we say ar-rajulu kabirun, right? Remember our nominal sentences? And right, so we start with definite and we shift to indefinite. That's a nominal sentence, remember? So how do we say really the man is old or truly the man is old? Like it's emphatic. Inna, right? Inna rajula kabirun. So who notices something?
Noun changed.
Yeah, so it became, what's the word do we say? It became mansub. Right. Yeah, that's right. That's when something becomes nasab, it becomes mansub. Right?
You can add inna rajula shaykhun kabirun.
Right. Yeah, you could. Yeah. Inna rajula shaykhun kabir. You could do that, absolutely. Okay, so what do we see the change? Before it was ar-rajulu kabirun, but now this subject got impacted by a particle, the particle of emphasis. Inna rajula. So now whenever you see inna in the Quran, realize that Allah is emphasizing. So, right? So causing the next noun to be in nasab. Inna rajula. Okay.
What did you say? Mansub something?
Mansub. Mansub, marfu, majroor, majzoom for jazm. It's just it's a compact way to say what happened to the word. It's majzoom. It became. Actually, it'll all make sense in the next lesson, or 2 lessons from now, because we're going to go over the. Next week, we're going to do the doer. So you take a verb and you convert it to a noun.
Would you have those words written down, like monsoons and what?
You'll be able to figure it out. That's what I'm
but
trying to
this is, I don't even know how to write down monsoon, the word monsoon.
say. Just need to know how to say it. It's not a writing.
Monsoon, it's an S-O-B. Okay.
Nasr, mansub. Nasr, mansur. We're going to get to, that's 2 lessons from now. Okay. So here are the examples. This is from the book. Inna, surely, verily, used in the beginning. Anna can mean 2 different things. That, or surely, you use it in the middle, right? Ka'anna, as though. Laita, if only. Lakinna, but, on the contrary, la'alla, perhaps, maybe, so as to, right? Now, that does not mean that whenever you see these, there's going to be a mansub noun next to it. But what it does mean, if there's a noun next to it, it will be mansub. Sometimes these are not used directly on top of a noun, but if it is, that noun will be mansub. Okay, so how do we say, really, I am old? So this is a little tricky. Yes? Think about like what you recited in the Quran. Subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin, right? Subhanaka, everyone knows, probably Yunus knows this now, right? Inni kabirun. Okay, so when you're doing it with a pronoun, it's almost like it's being treated as the direct object. In that sense, like, you know, when you say like darabtani, you put like ni on the end of it. Remember that at all or not? So same thing here, right? Inna, inni. Okay. So how we say you are old? Innaka, right? Innaka. So you're going to take the attached pronoun, right, and you're going to put it on. Inna, who? Innahu, right? So how would it be for? Let's just go through all of them, right? Inni, innaka, innaki, innahu, innaha, inna, or innana. You can say both ways. Inna. No, just inna. If you say
Inna,
us, we, right? Or innakuma, right? Innahuma, innakum, innakunna, innahum, innahunna. So basically, you're taking your attached pronouns. By the way, I'm really debating this. I was thinking about this last night.
When you're sick.
When you're sick, I'm sick.
I'm not. My brain is not working. So I'm thinking the final for this is going to be cumulative of also 101 material. I don't want you to forget that stuff.
As long as you give us a good review.
Oh, you use the same review. I'll use the same questions from 101. So just make sure you're on top of that, because you don't want to get some new stuff and then the old stuff goes out,
You
right?
need my final back.
Okay.
She shouldn't be asking you.
Right, because you should remember don't forget these attached pronouns and stuff like that. I think we're going to do that all the way through. That's the best way, because otherwise if you just learn the new material and forget the old, then it's no good. Okay.
So here you add it to the particle, not the noun. That's what you're saying. I am.
Because I am the noun, right? Really, I. Right?
I want to
The
point
old
out
will be the
Yes.
adjective, right?
Kabir means big.
It means big, but for a human, it means old.
Oh.
Old will be the adjective here, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's treated as a noun because it's, remember, ism? Adjectives under ism, right?
Acha. Adjective
Right.
is also in the part of the ism.
Right.
So Kabir is not the noun.
Kabir is
It's an adjective.
Kabir is the
The noun
predicate
is
of the
like a
nominal
subject.
sentence. So it is a noun in a sense.
Right, but you can all these make it a whatever.
So remember, let's go way back to lesson 1 of 101.
You can take
Adjectives are under the category of ism,
Yeah.
right? It's not a separate word
Right,
category,
right.
right?
But so with the noun, because this is this is the to be noun, it's within the particle of the noun.
Well, the to be has always
It's
been
never been
hidden
Correct.
in a nominal
No,
sentence.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so when it's not hidden, what do you do? Where are you adding?
It's
the-
generally hidden for a present tense sentence.
It's implicit.
We've never shown it for a present tense sentence. Say in English what you're trying to say.
Really, I ate the fruit.
Oh, okay. That's different. We don't use it in that case.
You don't use really.
We haven't covered that yet. We do use really, but it's a different word.
Where do you put the pronoun? On the end of the verb. Then,
Yeah, but we're getting ahead. So
because there's no verb here, you have to add.
Yeah,
it on
we're sticking
something,
with- so we're
let's
not-
add it on
yeah.
to the part. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just a clarification.
it's like you're trying to modify. You're trying to combine inna and ana. It becomes inni. Ana for the
Oh, sure.
for the first
Right,
person.
I get the E. I get, but you have to pronouns have to be attached to something. So if you don't, for the to be, there's no to be verb, so you just attach it to a particle of the noun.
I mean, you could say, I don't know if it's grammatically correct, but if you said inna ana kabirun, the person would probably understand what you mean. It would just make it seem odd, right? Inna is a particle by itself.
Okay.
And then you can say ana as the pronoun, right?
Right. But when you have a verb, you will attach.
I'm not going to speak about that because we haven't covered it yet. Are you saying like, okay, if I sat down, I would say jalastu. The doer of the verb, when it's a pronoun, yes, you attach it. Right?
But just a clarification.
Yeah.
In Surah Saf,
Right.
it says, "Ways kala Musa li qawmihi ya qawmi lima tuzunani qad ta'lamuna anni Rasulullah."
Yeah, because it's not wrong, but that's in the middle of a sentence. Right? So
Anni.
I understand, but listen to me.
Anni.
It's here.
Okay.
Anni.
And
Use
then-
in the middle.
and then, you see, then what happens? Ways kala Isa ibn Maryam ya bani Israila inni Rasulullah. Then it is inni.
Yeah.
Which is because
It depends where in the sentence it is.
it is now say al kasra. It is.
I'm explaining. Listen. If it's in the beginning of the sentence, is qala Isa. Now it's a new sentence that he's putting in quotes. Inni Rasulullahi alaykum musaddiqan lima bayna yadayya min at-Tawrat, right? Inni. So it's the beginning of the
It's
sentence.
not in the beginning of the sentence.
It is because he's saying it in quotes. إذ قال عيسى ابن مريم لبني
إذ
إسرائيل
قال موسى يا قومي لم تؤذونني وقد
تعلمون
أني رسول
أني تعلمون أني. That's combined now,
So
right?
the beginning doesn't have to be the first word. The first.
Well, because it's in quotes. So what Isa alayhi salam is saying that
There
sentence,
is the thing, quote unquote.
he put quote unquote. He said to Bani Israel, Inni.
I don't know the translation. So what's the sentence?
Barely.
It's like, okay, if I say, I told Sadaf, then,
Verily, right.
yeah.
But let's say like, oh, because you would never say surely or verily as a second word. You could say oh verily. Is there a word for oh?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can say yeah.
You
Yeah.
can say ya in me.
This doesn't really make
That's
sense.
still the middle. So then
No, but how would that make
I don't know.
sense?
Oh verily.
If it's middle is unknown,
We
that's
say
it.
that. That is-
But you understand why I
Yeah,
said
but
that?
in the next one says this Qala Isa ibn Maryam Ya Bani Israel Inni Rasulullah.
Oh, okay, so it's like a comma, right? It's the starting of a clause.
But here also it's quote unquote.
But don't get hung up on the translation. I'm just saying, think of it. When I say to you, oh Zahid, now I'm kind of starting a new clause. Inni Rasulullah, right? But now if I say ta'lamuna anni, anni is what is known.
But what is the difference in between the two? Oh yeah.
This is what I'm
The
trying to
one
explain.
Anni
Right?
was inni.
Inni is to start a clause.
I understand, but you know,
Ta'lamuna anni is not to start a clause. That is what is known. Ta'lamuna
yeah.
applies to anni.
So it is not quote
You
unquote.
know that I am a big man. If you say you know really I am old, you would say Ta'lamuna anni kabirun. You get that?
Like for example, really has a comma after it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like in English.
This
we
is
use
translation,
semicolon.
though,
Like
but-
in English,
yeah.
we use semicolons and
But they
commas.
Yeah,
don't
it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah. But
Logically speaking, if I were to say, you know, indeed I am old. I don't even know how to say it in English. You know, truly I am old. Like, how would you even translate that? You would say, ta'lamuna anni kabirun. Because the inni is now attached to the ta'lamuna. Right? That's what he's saying when he's talking about Musa alayhi salam. But when it says, إِذْ قَالَ Isa,
Isa
you
ibn
could say,
Maryam.
what if you say, إِذْ قَالَ Yusuf, إِنِّي كَبِيرٌ. So it's like a quote, right? So logically speaking, it's starting what is being said. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Anni is like when it's in the middle or it's being.
You're emphasizing it less.
Yeah.
Like when you put it at the beginning of a sentence, you are emphasizing.
Right. But they both mean the same thing.
Right. When you say you know,
Right.
then you're really emphasizing.
But thank you for bringing that up because that's actually a really good example.
Mhm.
How did you find it so fast?
I remember.
Okay.
Also, you know, I
Mashallah.
I
Okay.
understand.
Okay. Wait, did we go over this? Okay. All right.
فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْهُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا.
Innahu kana tawwaba. Okay, so when we say innahu kana tawwaba, you shouldn't just say he is ever accepting of friends. Indeed, it's emphasized, right? Innahu. Who's the who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Innahu, right?
إِنَّا
Fasabbi,
آتَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ.
Sorry?
Fasabbi will be the command test, right?
Yes, command
Sabbi.
tense. So take off the very good, yeah.
Istaghfar
Fasabbih.
will be the present tense.
This is also a command. Wastaghfir. Wastaghfir. Who? This is a direct object.
Okay. So vowel will come to alif. Okay.
Well, this is a connecting particle. Wa. You can say istaghfir, right? Wastaghfir. Remember when we said this is called a hamza al-wasl, that letter? If there's a vowel before it, it's going to be taken by the vowel. Right? So it's was. Wastaghfirhu. Innahu kana tawwaba. Okay? Inna. Okay, so what's different about this inna?
It's start.
No.
So what's different than this and this?
the
Yes, why is the alif there?
It needed to be.
Right, it's affixing the the pronoun for we. Inna. Indeed we.
It's na. You can't say na.
It's actually
You can.
It's actually
Oh, you
So
can.
so both of those, we and I, can take two forms. It can be inni or it could be innani. And it actually appears in the Quran that way one time. And this could be inna or innana. It can appear both ways are valid.
If we hear inna in the Quran.
I'm not sure. But innani definitely.
Many places, no. Many places.
Inna ata, yeah, it could be.
And it means the same.
Means the
There's
same
no
thing.
reason. I mean, I'm sure there is a reason that Allah picked it differently, but no reason that we.
There could be some difference. It might be beyond my
Right.
knowledge.
Well, yeah.
Inna atainaka. Okay. Inna.
Inna shanyaka wal abtar.
Okay, so now we actually see an explicit noun. So what happens to this? What happens to this? What case is it in? Nasab. It's mansub, right? Right? The hamza here is got a fatha. Right? This is just a possessive pronoun. Shani'aka. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, Zaid Bhai. Can I get a favor? Actually, this is our last slide. That's great. Can you just, Zaid Bhai, can you read through this and then you three can you all can discuss it? I'm just gonna give a 10-minute heads up for the other. Yeah, you can read it and then discuss it amongst yourselves.
La tadri lallahu yuhdisu ba'da dhalik amra.
Ninth form, right?
So the letter, the La made it go in jet. And then La is form.
Maybe. It is maybe.
No, Allah.
Perhaps.
Yuhdisu ba'da
I'm
dhalik
saying
amra.
that
He may
it
create
would just,
some, any order or any better proposition.
It's form 9.
No,
No,
ये
no,
तो
no,
particle
no, no,
है.
no,
talking about Anna. We have Anna.
It's a particle, it's not a word. That's what it is, it's a particle, and that
Yuhdisu.
reflects Allah.
Yuhdisu is in the form.
Allah. Its effect is coming on Allah.
Yeah.
Allah.
Yuhdisu is form, it's mudare and passive. Form 1.
Yeah.
The second one is وَمَا أَفَاءَ اللَّهُ عَلَى رَسُولِهِ مِنْهُمْ وَمَا أَوْجَفْتُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ خَيْلٍ وَلَا رِكَابٍ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يُسَلِّطُ رُسُلَهُ عَلَى مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ.
Allah gives his messenger over whom he wills.
So that's present second. You do is present second.
Second form.
Rasulahu is Rasulahu, many, his messengers, so plural now. Plural now.
The third one is نَبِّهِمْ أَنَّ الْمَاءَ قِسْمَةٌ بَيْنَهُمْ كُلُّ شِرْبٍ مُقْتَدَرٍ.
Okay. So looking at the first one. So why is this? Remember, what do we call this? What do we call this when we're talking about it? No, what do we call the word? We call it Lafzul Jalala, right? We don't use the name Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like as a subject when we're talking about these kinds, out of respect. So we call this Lafzul Jalala.
What do you call it?
Lafzul Jalala. So why is Lafzul Jalala mansub? Because otherwise you're going to end up saying, Na'udhu billah, why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mansub? You don't want to say that, right? So Lafzul Jalala is mansub. Because la'alla, right? Right? Just as if you had inna Allah, you would say la'alla Allah, perhaps Allah will bring about. After that, a different matter, right?
So you were saying you don't say Allah, you say this.
When you're talking about the word Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're not talking about Allah himself. We're talking about the word is mansub, has a fatha on it. Grammatically, the word representing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a fatha on it. We don't say Allah has a fatha on it, right? You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so
not
when you're
Allah,
referring
right,
to
like
this...
not Sadaf has a fatha on my
Right,
on
exactly,
my
but-
head, let's see.
But in every other case, it's okay. But you want to be very clear in this case that we're not talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're talking about the word representing.
Oh, so I see when we're speaking about what
Yes,
we're talking
so that's why you
about,
give it the name
word,
Lafzul
oh,
Jalala. Right?
oh, I see, okay.
When there's a nasab.
In any case, whenever you're referring to the word Allah, Allah, right? You say Lafzul
It
Jalala.
may be kasra or anything.
Whatever it is, no matter what. As a subject,
But it's
ob-
only with the word Allah.
only with the
I
word
did it.
Allah,
You
right?
see what I just did? I just said the word Allah.
The word Allah. It's only with Lafzul Jalala.
Yeah.
That's what you say.
But it's only with that word.
Yeah, which we call Lafzul Jalala.
Okay.
This is the name
That's
for it.
how you say it.
Yeah, Lafzul
But
Jalala.
which is better, Subhanahu wa ta'ala or Allah Jalal? Normally, I would use Subhanahu wa
They're
ta'ala.
all good. Any praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Even when I write, I say SWT between Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I don't know which one is better.
Oh.
Okay, walakin Allah, right? Where are we? But Allah gives His messengers power over whom He wills. Right? Walakin Allah. وَنَبِّئْهُمْ أَنَّ الْمَاءَ. So this is not the emphatic particle. This is just that. And inform them that the water is shared. Right? أَنَّ الْمَاءَ. Right? Okay. That's it. Okay, that's it for
How
today.
do you know that's that?
That's that.
How do you know that?
The context would tell you. You mean versus, so it can take one of two meanings, right? It would take,
Then really, the water is shared.
it could mean that.
Yeah.
You could say, and inform them, truly the water is divided. Could mean that, but, yeah. It's no different in English. Sometimes you can say a word which could mean two different things. And the sentence may not be clear.
So then this translation might be a little
I mean, I think everybody knows
exact.
that's that. Yeah. But it wouldn't. The meaning would still be valid, probably, if you put indeed. Okay, so let's just. We have 5 more minutes. So this is what, our 4th class?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th class. So we're making very good progress. Just to give a roadmap. So we have 3 more columns to cover. Those 3 columns are. They're all 3 nouns now. It's to take a verb and convert it to a noun.
Two?
Convert it to a noun. So let's take the word. Let's take the word.
Allah.
Right. Let's take the word right. Okay. So the word right, you can convert it to a noun 3 different ways. The person who's writing, you're going to call him a writer, right? So that's called the fa'il, the doer. Right? So we're going to work on that next week, right? How do you take any verb, convert it into the person who's doing that action? We're going to go through it in the 10 forms. Then the next week, what do you think it will be?
Deputy doer.
It'll be the passive of that.
Yeah.
The one who, the thing that is being written, right?
Right.
Deputy doer, right? Oh, that's not it?
Maybe,
Oh, okay.
maybe, yeah, maybe.
So,
It might be called that. I'm not sure if it's actually called that.
thing,
I think it's called maf'ul bihi. That's what it's called. No, yeah, it's what's it? Maf'ul bihi. So that's the one thing that's being written. That's another noun you can derive. And then what's the last noun you can derive?
Prohibition.
What kind of noun? Writing.
Oh,
Writing. Right? Writing is good. Writing is a noun. It's a gerund in English, we call it. Kitabun, right? It was, that's how you. So we're going to go, those are the last 3. So actually, those should be very good because that'll open up a whole lot of meanings for you because you see it a lot in the Quran, right?
So it's writer and writing. What's the second one?
Writer, the thing that is being written, right? Like in Arabic, you would say that's all one word. Whatever's being written is all one word. Okay, the helper, the helped, helping. Right? 3 different.
But whatever is being written, you would just say book.
Not all this. No.
Helper.
Like if you want to be non-specific.
No, because what if I'm writing a letter? What if I'm just writing? What if I'm referring to just writing on the wall? I'm just referring to the ink. I'm not referring to any book. Right? It's the thing being written.
That was just written.
That you're not
So
specifying letter.
It's help her.
Helper. Helped. The thing that is helped.
I think that is help.
Yeah. And helping. Or to help.
So they're converting the verb.
3 different styles of nouns. Yes. Okay. So that would be the next 3 weeks. That's what
different form. First form is going to be what? The one who is doing
the
something.
doing. Yeah, the
The
doer.
other one is who
The done to.
done to, and who is helping. Yeah.
And then the last is the verbal noun. The verbal noun itself. So
when
that'll.
somebody's speaking Arabic to you, you understand your brain works like fast enough for the odd, id, of, whatever. Like it.
Yeah, I mean it's getting there.
Oh,
It's still, like anything, when you have a native speaker and they speak at their pace, it's difficult to keep up. But, yeah, like in a religious context, you're usually able to keep up,
okay.
provided it's clear enough. It takes time. It takes motor memory. It takes time. It's not just a question. At the end of the day, all of this is going to be learn the rules, but then it's all going to be the repetition of listening and reading and hearing different things. Because for you all, I'm sure you're going to sit there and try to apply rules, and you'll never be able to do that fast enough at the speed of someone talking. But the more you do it, inshallah, you'll get to that speed. Right? That's the key. And I mean, the whole emphasis of this class was not necessarily to be at that fluency, although we can keep working towards that, but it's more to be able to understand what you're reading. Because reading, you can go at your own pace. Right? And then vocabulary also helps with that. But then, so that's just the morphology part. And then in terms of the grammar, we're going to go into negation. We have to do questioning. How do you turn it into a question? Connecting particles. Like how do you make big sentences? Laysa and kana. We've got to do laysa and kana. So it's how do you negate how do you take a nominal sentence and negate it? How do you negate a verbal sentence? How do you do a nominal sentence in the past tense? He was big, right? How do you say that? So those kinds of things we'll do.
Okay,
I think that's
those
kind of.
will be the particle things, right? So
Yeah, that'll be
that
more
will
particles.
complete the
So again,
particles.
yeah, so it's 10 tables and particles. We can do that every week.
What would you call it?
With verbal noun, we'll be completing
Kul?
the.
That's a week letter. That's a week. We're not going to do it in this class.
So by this, we'll be completing the basic building blocks.
Yeah. So then 103, what we'll do, I think we'll take a bit of a break and go more into vocabulary and understanding. And then we'll probably revisit grammar and morphology for weak letters, because you can't complete it without weak letters. And that's hard. Hard. And then if there's a 105, 104 or 105, we'll make it like the full 80% list, because, yeah.
Then you have to tell what the people contribution for this.
Yeah, I've already mentioned. So whoever hasn't given, it's $40 for this class. And all the advanced ones will be $40, unless we raise the price.
So one class of every
No, every class.
Brother, one doubt. What is the difference? How we should find the difference between the preposition and these particles?
Memorization. You have to memorize the meaning. What do you mean? Which preposition usually will be have a different. So we actually have to cover that. We covered prepositions a little bit in 101, but we didn't cover it fully. There's other category of words called harf jar like nouns. Min qable, min fawqe, min wara'i, right? Imam, like those kinds of things. That we could cover that, but we could also cover it in the vocabulary of 103. Yeah.
Because prepositions we didn't cover that much. No?
Yeah, we did it in 101 a little bit.
Little bit.
Fi,
Yeah,
ila.
only that the little going to the jar form.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of listing out the words, then we'll do that probably in 103.
Oh.
The letter ma, is that also considered to be like a negotiation?
It can be multiple meanings.
Right? Multiple meanings.
It could be a question. It could be a negation. It could be
Depending on the context that it
it can be a lot of meanings.
Yeah.
Also what?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Whatever. Negating.
A lot of
It can have a lot of meanings.
So, brother, one more doubt is this from the class 101, I have missed this. Means like I didn't remember the meaning of what the form 1, what the form 2.
Yeah, go to lecture
So
8 of 101. If you go to 101, lesson 8,
no. I mean to say we even need to have some idea about this so that it will
it's
be
helpful. It's helpful. But maybe maybe I'll make that a 103 thing. Because that's more about memorizing meanings, and that wasn't the emphasis of this class.
What I find most difficult is in some ayat, the word Rabb and Allah is used in the same ayat. And in the same meanings.
My most difficult thing to memorize is wa and fa. Wa and fa. Because both wa, is it a wa or a fa? Because both particles could mean is valid meaning. Yeah. Okay. We'll wrap up here. How's everybody finding the 10 forms? Is it manageable now? You think it's becoming a good friend? You think about it when you go to sleep or something?
classes will
Take it
pick
a
up.
measured pace like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one per.
I don't remember much, but when I read Quran, I know the meanings.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah,
I
same
don't
here.
remember.
I know the meaning, but
I know the meaning